Welcome back to another video, guys. I hope you've been well. I think it's time that we talk about the elephant in the room, which is going to be the ThAirCamper on the back of my truck. I have spent 3 nights in it so far, off and on, and stored it and whatnot, and I am honestly ready to give a really good review on exactly what I think on this camper and why you should buy one. Okay, this is my 2022 Tundra TRD off-road package, limited spec, and this is the ThAirCamper. I don't keep the camper on here the whole time, but I do throw it on to go camping, off-roading, and whatnot. And the thing is freaking awesome. I'm a huge fan of inflatables. I have inflatable boats. I have 2 of those. I had an inflatable bed cap for a little bit, and then we upgraded to one of these. And you can currently see that I do have my Zero Breeze AC unit running through the port on the side right there, and it's running just fine. So let's go over the outside of it so I can kind of point some stuff out to you on how this thing runs. Okay, so we're just going to record this video in my backyard. I just got back from a trip. That's why the truck is all dirty. But just starting off on the front, you actually have a very, very aerodynamic design on the front of this camper. The camper makes wind noise. All campers make wind noise. But I only lost about 1 mile per gallon on the freeway with this thing on. Now you can kind of see right here, I do have some kneeling pads for the front of the camper to rest on, so the camper doesn't rub against the paint on my truck. From there, they're just sitting on there, and that's how that is. If you dive on the inside here, you do have the attachment straps. I just take these straps and throw them on the handle and tighten it down. You don't need to tighten it down super tight. Just snug them up until they're snug and not flopping around, because you do need to close the door on those straps to be able to tension it down. Now, I did have an idea I was thinking about of either using some sort of suction cup system or maybe a magnet system. You do want to, for sure, secure this side down because the front of it will flap up and down. On the upgraded version, they do add hooks right here to attach the 270 awning. I do not have that attachment. This attachment here, you can use it for other stuff. I have yet to figure out what I want to use that for. But I run this camper, unlike my other truck build, like you can see in my Tacoma on the channel. I run this one really simple. I try to keep this one really, really simple, not too complicated. This is just a super lightweight setup, and it works really well. So on the side of the camper here, we have a small window up front. There is no cover for this window, but we only really use this front section for storage. We have a tie down there. We have a really large window on the inside with the mesh, and then we do have this rain guard here. This rain guard does look a little funny. I can promise you, I have never gotten any water intrusion in this camper, and I've had it out in water storms and stuff like that, going to Napa and whatnot. You come down the side, all nice and plain, and then you lead to the back door and all that. Okay, before we dive into the inside of the camper, I kind of want to show this off. You do this on other slide-ins too that are hardwall. This is just 2-inch foam insulation board. You can buy it at Home Depot. You put it in walls and stuff. You can run it right there, and the reason I do that is under the truck is the shark fin. And I don't want the camper rubbing against that shark fin. So you just want to raise the whole camper up a little bit. So you just get that 2-inch foam board, lay it on the bed of your truck, and it fills that gap perfectly fine. You do that pretty often. It's not going to crush down or anything too much, so you're definitely awesome. Back here we have the rear door. It's a really large rear door with a window. This is awesome. You don't have to really bend over that much to get in and out of it. From here, you do have the flap that does cover, and then you have a strap on the outside here, and you have a strap up there. I find that strap up there to be way too tall to reach. I would prefer if it was in the middle or something. So we typically only close the door and do the rear strap, and I've only ever done the one strap at the bottom, ever, driving down the freeway. I've never had a problem. So, I mean, that's what my recommendation would be, if they can move that strap farther down and make it easier to access. It's awesome. This door, even though it's inflatable, is super solid. And yeah, and then you have your diesel heater port on this side. This is a 3-inch port. I really wish they gave you a 4-inch port, or maybe one on either side, so you have options. And the other thing too is what I typically do is I run the power cord from the side of my truck bed into the camper through the door. I wish they gave you another port on the outside right here or on the back, so I could run the cable in that way instead of going through the door. So far that's the outside of this thing, and I think it's awesome. I mean, it's the best thing about this camper is that it's lightweight. It's only 180 pounds, and compare that to other hard wall sliding campers, you're just not going to find that. This truck doesn't even feel when it's on there, minus the wind noise. This truck doesn't even know this camper's there. It works perfectly fine. So that's the best thing about this camper. Now we'll get to one thing that I do not like about this camper, and maybe it can be improved, maybe by adding more Velcro, is this door seal. This door does not seal very well at all. You can kind of see the dust right there on the side of it, and so the whole area around the door just gets dusty. Especially here in California, we have that Sierra fine powder dust, and it just gets sucked into every crack and crevice. And so that door not being sealed, it just sucks in all the dust. So I mean, I'm probably gonna maybe experiment with adding more Velcro around that door, or maybe something, or maybe pulling it tighter or whatever. But it just, that door sucks in all the dust. I was even maybe thinking about experimenting with a positive pressure system to push the dust out. It's not too big of a deal. It's just one of those things where don't expect your stuff to be clean, you know. But you're out there camping anyway, so yeah, set expectations properly. But let me add, with this door not being sealed for dust, it is amazing in the rain. I'll add that. The flap over the whole thing, plus the little rain guard on the top, no water intrusion at all. People don't believe it, but like the way these windows are designed with the flap on the top and then the gutter on the top and then the flap over the door, there is 0 to no water intrusion on this camper, and I've yet to really experiment it. I've yet to really have a problem with that. So I mean, 10 out of 10 on that part. The water intrusion is non-existent. It's just the dust for me. So let's enter the camper here. I have a Gorilla step ladder that you buy from Home Depot set up. This is typically how I do it. Normally kick off my shoes at the bottom. I can just dive on in here. There we go. Perfect. Okay. It is a little cooler in here with the Zero Breeze AC unit running, but let me go ahead and switch to a wider field of view so you can kind of get a better view. Okay, so I'm about 5'6", 5'7". I'm standing in the tallest point of the camper, and my head does hit. So you do need to hunch down a little bit, but it's really comfortable to be able to operate in here. And then let's see here. So I'll take a seat. You can have a seat on the benches on either side. I have the twin size mattress right here. And then if I swing you around, I have the Zero Breeze AC unit. And then I do have the window cover down because that's my neighbor's house. I'm just trying to keep some privacy on their end. And then yeah, and then you have the bunk up top. So let me go show you that all closer up. Okay, so I did step out of the camper again here to kind of show you this. So you do have an inflate hole here on the bottom and on the side here, and then another one on this back door. And then you have one at the very front there, so you can see I have my twin size air mattress running across these benches. This is also from ThAirCamper, and then we basically just use the front underneath this for storage space. So this is where we slide all of our bins and whatnot into that area to be able to store and then travel. Back here, so let me hop on in. Back here, typically this becomes a dump area for random stuff, and we have the AC unit there. We normally tuck it into the corner and just some bags up front. These make great bench seats because you can sit down on either side and then sit away from each other. Makes a great area to clean. Typically we have our fridge up here, and then our microwave right here, and then our battery down below plugged in and charged. Typically when we're at camp and I'm like relaxing for a minute, you typically find me in this like corner tucked in and all that, on top of the mattress, kind of just hanging out. From here, we mainly only use this top section for storage. The reason behind that is I have the panoramic sunroof on the truck, so this is right on top of glass. So if you put weight on it, especially in the center, you can feel the shark fin antenna underneath it. And then then I have the foam pads on either side of the corners. But there is some flex to this panel, and if you're sitting on it, you can actually feel the glass underneath you, and that's just not a comfortable feeling. So if you didn't have a glass panoramic sunroof on your truck and you just had a metal sunroof, or even a roof rack, this would be perfect because then this top panel will be resting on the roof rack. I actually thought about putting a printed roof rack up here to support the weight. Maybe I might do that in the future once we start camping with the kid more, and then maybe put them up here. Me and my wife sleep down below here, and it turns out to be pretty awesome. Let me show you. So you can see here that on this side the window is in the up position and hanging. It just hangs from the roof. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that. And then you could put them down. I typically don't even find myself putting them down unless I'm camping with other people. My hunting partner and I were camping out of this weekend, and we didn't even put those flaps down. We just kept them up the whole time. So I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know if I like them hanging or like them down. I mean, they work just fine, so it just is what it is. And then on this side here, we do have this one in the down position. And also, it doesn't seal perfectly. You can kind of see, like, you do need to push it in to seal. So there is some light, and plus on the front here, these ones are open all the time. So this definitely isn't like a full dark out camper, but it does have these windows covers for the larger windows. Perfect. So I flipped the camera around here so you can see I have the Zero Breeze AC unit running right here, and then you can see that we do have the plug on the top there. We have the vent down below, and then you can kind of see that the door isn't perfectly sealed there in the corners, and that's why we get that dust intrusion. You can see the light peeking through just enough, and there is a ton of space in here, and there is just a ton of space to be able to just hang out in and camp out of. So there isn't much else really to say other than that this thing is awesome. I would definitely recommend buying one of these. At the price point that it's at, it's like a no-brainer compared to other rooftop tents and other sliding campers. Like at $2,800, this thing's a no-brainer. The thing is, you just have to change your mindset when it comes to it. This is not a replacement for a hard wall sliding camper when it comes to systems, mounted water, electrical, and whatnot. This is very much like a glorified tent that you don't have to set up and take down, but you still have to camp. Like, you still have to have water, you still have to have your own stove and stuff like that. It's definitely not a live-in system like a traditional hardwall camper is. It's definitely one of those things where it's an accessory to be camping, and it's awesome. I mean, I couldn't recommend this enough. There's some other modifications we want to do for it, other things I want to build into it to make it easier to basically camp out of. I'll have to make some supplemental videos of us actually at camp on how we have this thing set up. But other than that, I couldn't recommend it enough. So I hope this video gave you a little bit more insight into the ThAirCamper, and I hope this gave you some inspiration on what you can have one of these on your truck and have some adventures too. But I definitely would say get in now while the price is so good, because I think these sooner or later these things are going to start flying off the shelves for like $400 to $200, and you get it while you can now. Get it while you can. So I'm going to wrap up the video here, guys. Again, my name is Justin. You can find me at MGM Yodas on Instagram. This YouTube thing is a new thing that I'm kicking off. I do camping, hunting, fishing, side-by-side, off-road. Anything that gets me outside is what I'm all about. So guys, if you like this video, please like the video. Please subscribe, please share, leave a comment. I'm happy to chat with you guys on Instagram, whatever. I just super into this thing. Wanted to talk about it.